Where to begin, where to begin?
Beginning. Beginning of everything.
So back when I was 18 years old, this is back in like 2008. Yeesh, that's a long time ago. I started working in Tiger. So I've always been around like bar work. I did a bit of modeling, done like London Fashion Week and all that kind of stuff. And then a few years later, I found out I was gonna be a dad at like 21 years old. So now I can no longer do the bar work and the nighttime stuff, so I had to go find myself a real job. So within the company, the same company as Tiger, I started working as a senior sales exec. One evening when I had finished work, I ended up getting in a conversation with these guys. They said they really liked the way I build rapport, and they offered me a job in City Point Tower, so I would work as an investment broker. I ended up moving to an insurance broker job, and this was my last job. I left probably in about 2014, 2015, something like that. So I was at work. I remember seeing this article on LinkedIn, and it was like 24 reasons you might be an entrepreneur. And I read it and I was just like, tick, 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 that is me. So then I started doing these UFC fight night parties in London. This was something that me and my friends used to stay up and watch these UFC events every time there was a title fight. People would always end up falling asleep because we weren't doing a lot. We would be chilling, waiting for this fight to come on in Vegas. I started thinking like it would be really good if we could go out, because if we're partying, we can stay up till 3 a.m. easy. So we started doing our own fight night parties in London, and we had help from UFC, like they tweeted us out. We had a few events, but just because of the way the MMA scene was quite frowned upon at the time, we kept getting our events shut down. And our last event was at Playboy Club, and they shut us down like the day before the event or something, and it was just a joke. Like I had UFC fighter agents coming down and they shut us down. It was just a shit show. So after that, I just kind of thought, well, we got into a little dispute with Playboy. They ended up paying us because of the severe inconvenience. And then after that, we thought like, this is just too much stress. So we stopped doing the events. And then during this time, this is probably like 2016 or something like that, I started going to the studio with a friend of mine, George, who is now signed to EMI. At the time, he was working on a project and I would tag along with him. And this is where I started learning a lot of my foundational music knowledge. And I've always had a passion for music, but I never pushed myself down any particular path during school. I was just playing football. So I started really thinking, how could artists like this promote themselves without any money and without having like a record label or whatever to back them? I started brainstorming these ideas on how we could potentially help. I arrived at this concept where I thought, if we went on social media and we found, I think George probably had like maybe 1,000 followers, 700 followers at the time. He wasn't as big as he is now. I thought to myself, like, if we went online and we found loads of people who have around 1,000 followers that do similar kind of music, and we created like a big group, we could all promote each other, because obviously George's fans would probably like the music of one of the other people that he promotes, and everyone could kind of share fans between each other in order to level themselves up. And when I started looking around at how we could potentially do this, I started going on SoundCloud, Twitter, Instagram, and even back then, all they would do is suggest all these people that have like 20K, 15K. So we weren't finding the people that we needed, and it wasn't efficient enough. So I started thinking it'd be really good if there was an app that could just filter this entire social internet and just make everything easier to get to.